What's happening, vinyl community? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you guys are when you're watching this. It's been a little bit since my last video, but instead of doing a collection update or anything like that, I thought I would do a little bit of change of pace with you guys. For those of you that have collected, whether it be a little bit of time or a long time, you'll notice that you run across albums that most of the time are a little bit dirty, or a lot, or quite a bit dirty, depending on where you find them. Sometimes the front cover is dirty, sometimes the back cover is dirty, and generally there's not a lot of things you can do to fix that. However, there is a technique that I would like to share with you today on how to improve white covers, and in some cases colored, covers that aren't white, just a solid image. I've had a lot of luck with jazz albums, especially the Blue Note series. And I actually learned this technique by blending, just trial and error, and then blending with a little bit of comic book cleaning, which is a very similar technique. So hopefully you'll find this video informative. I'm actually going to be working on the cover for Blue Note 4003, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. This is actually a new acquisition that actually arrived a little while ago. As you can see, the cover's pretty dirty. Front cover's not too bad. A little bit of a edge wear right there, but all in all, the front cover's not too bad. Back cover, however, is a little completely different story. Now, the three things that I use for this process, and again, results may vary. Sometimes you get a lot of success out of this. Sometimes you get a little bit. Sometimes you don't get any. It's just trial and error. First thing is cotton rounds. Makeup cotton rounds. Make sure they're unscented and fragrance-free, oil-free, etc. Just plain old white cotton rounds. Next thing I would suggest, and these are two different kinds of erasers. I would use they call them, in this case they're using the click erasers, but they're just a little polymer eraser. And then for some of the areas, but the main thing that I use are polymer pencil cap erasers. See here, I've already got one ready. Put it on the edge of a pen, and basically what you're doing is you're just going over it a little bit at a time. You don't go nuts, don't put a lot of pressure on it, just solid motion and work your way down. It is a little bit time consuming, but I assure you that if you take the time to do this, your results will make you happy. You took the time to do this. So without further ado, we're going to get started. I'm going to see if I can turn the camera around. It's my first time doing this, so here we go. You see here, it's got a little bit of pencil. I started to work on it, and then, see, it's a little bit dirty. So we'll start out with the name. Now, as you can see here, you can't get rid of the indent of the name, but you can get rid of the pencil. So start out deep, not too deep, but solid fluid motion all the way across. And just take the name, sorry, like I said, this is kind of new, me doing this camera angle. As you can see, pencil's gone. The indent is in there, like I said. Now, on just general wear and tear, again, same thing. Start out. And one big thing that's important is do not go over the black lettering, because you will smudge the letter. You will smudge the text. So it's really, really important to not go over the areas that have been printed onto the label, or onto the back of the cover. You're just wanting to go for the dirty spots. As you can see, it's already a little bit better. change the eraser for this one. I prefer this one because it's got a little bit of smaller of a angle to it, so it makes it easier for me to actually get into the around the text. And again, you know, you're not going to get everything. This is not a surefire way to get everything you want off. However, it will make a huge difference on what you're on making the cover look a lot better. And it's really important to remember that this is not a fast process. It takes time. Sometimes I'll start one of these, and after I start getting a little bit tired, I'll stop and I'll come back to it later. But like I said, a little bit of patience goes a long way. As you can see, again, I've still got a long way to go, but it already looks a lot better. You can see the area that I focused on versus what's not been focused on. Like I said, results may vary, but I've had a lot of success doing this, and again, you know, all you're doing is you're basically just taking away the dirt and grime from years and years of storage. But like I said, results may vary, and you know, I wouldn't take your $1,000 album out and start there. I'd see if you could find a couple of bargain basement albums, or maybe if you've got a cover and a beat piece of beat vinyl, but a decent jacket's just dirty. Start there, start working your way through, and eventually you'll get to the point where you'll feel comfortable working on more expensive albums. But again, if you take the time to learn how to do this through trial and error, I highly recommend the process, and I think it works wonders. And the other thing that you want to do with these, especially with these cotton rounds, is once you've gotten quite a bit of the gunk off of the area, just take one of these rounds, just go along the album, see if you can clear any loose debris away. And it just helps because, you know, using a eraser you'll get residue and stuff like that. But again, I hope you found this technique useful. I'd love to see your guys' results with this. Feel free to tag me at TreeMcGee814 on Instagram. Again, hope you found this technique useful, and I hope you've tried it on your own, and I'd love to see the results. Again, if you've liked this video, please click like and subscribe. It's been a pleasure, and you guys have a great day. Take it easy.